Hey friends, I shared with you some things that I do to help my children with ADHD, and now I want to share with you some things that we physically use that are huge helps for our ADHD children. I'm Heidi with Heavenly Minded Home. Welcome here to our channel. Love sharing things about homeschool, homemaking, just living each and every day to its fullest as we wait expectedly and excitedly each and every day for the return of Jesus. I shared with you guys the things that I do that really help our children with ADHD. Now, 3 out of our 4 children have ADHD in various different ways, and so we have found different things that we implement in our home, things that we use to try to help them. So be sure to go and watch the other video if you haven't seen it already with the things that I do that really help. Right now I just want to share with you guys the things that we have purchased that we use on a regular basis that have been really helpful for our ADHD children. So the first thing we use that has been great not only for them and their learning but for me and my learning as well is this book, Thriving with ADHD. Now it's a little workbook. We just bought the one and we kind of use it across the board for all kids, but it's this great little workbook that was actually put together by a doctor where you get to go through and learn about different activities and tools that you can implement to help children with ADHD. It also breaks down a great explanation of the different types of ADHD and how different children are affected in different ways. My 3 kids kind of hit all over the spectrum. So this has been a great thing for us to have and to work through. I'm learning different things that we can try and implement. The kids are learning a little bit more about like, oh, that's why I do that, or this would be really helpful because I do that. Excuse the 4-year-old running through the room. So this is a really great, useful tool. Not every activity is going to work perfectly for every child, but because there are so many different activities in here, different seasons of life, you have different kind of tools in your toolbox that you can reach in and pull out and try implementing to see if that gives your child some, some relief and some help in processing through whatever the different things might be. So I love this. Of course, I'll link all these things down below. But this has been a great little workbook. Sometimes we are really dutiful and we do this consistently. Other times we grab some tools that we need and we're okay and we kind of give it a little break. So it's nothing that we like super crazy stress, but definitely a great thing that we pull out and hey, let's work through some of our activities. For me that I'm learning, hey, let me try this. For them that they're learning, hey, maybe if I try this, it might help me out here a little bit. This has been a great help. So another thing that is kind of a big contender for us is sound. I've got, like I said, I've got kids kind of all over the spectrum when it comes to ADHD, and so trying to find a right mix and different things just call for, different situations call for different tools, right? And so we have a couple things when it comes to sound. The first thing that we have is we have these. They're like the ear protection you would get if you were using like a chainsaw or going shooting or something like that. We have these. These are great. My daughter will quite often, when she is needing to focus, she's needing to do some schoolwork, she's wanting to read, maybe she's just overwhelmed and it is way too much just coming in, way too much sensory overload, she can go and put these on and just block out all of the noise around her. These have been such a cheap and effective tool that we can implement in to get some relief for our ADHD kids. I will link these down below. Super thick, super comfy. Even the 4-year-old can put these on. Sometimes she needs a little bit of just kind of, let me block out some noise. So these are super duper handy. I love these. A friend recommended them to us. This is what her ADHD kiddos use as well. And we're like, that is genius. Love this, being able to block out the sound. We also do have, I don't have them here on me, but we do have for my daughter the loop earbuds. If you guys have seen them, they're very tiny little earbuds you can put in. They don't block out all sound, but they do bring it down. I keep a pair in my wallet, which is out in the car, otherwise I would show you, but I keep a pair in there when I'm having a migraine and I am like bordering on that edge and trying to still do all of the mom things. I will put them in so I can quiet everybody down a little bit. But the loop earbuds are amazing as well. I'll see if I can't link them down below or something similar at least. These are great, love having these. We have a basket that we keep in the pantry with different school things. We just keep these in there so that way when it's like, hey, it's too much, I can't focus, we're starting to get overwhelmed, attitudes maybe ticking up, hey, how about you go get your headphones and kind of block out the noise a little bit. The other thing that we'll do, sometimes it's helpful in reading or doing other things. Sometimes I'll put on like my Hymns of the Homemaker kind of background music. They would like some noise coming in to just kind of soothe and be a little relaxing. We have, you can't see them very well, but I have these great earbuds. I have very small ear holes. So do my daughters. So finding earbuds for us is very difficult. I found these ones, they're Tozo brand. They're just like a knockoff cheap brand on Amazon. I'll link them down below. I love these things. They are small enough, they actually fit in my ear and stay in my ear, which is a huge thing because nothing for me fits. These work for our kids as well. Maybe not tiny kids, but I'm talking like my almost 12-year-old, okay? These are great. I've recommended them to other friends. They have like teen girls. These work great for any of us that have small ears and would like to have something in that would be helpful to have some audio listening for your reading, or maybe you just need some music on, or you'd like to focus and have something just closed in your ear. Anybody with small ears, I'm telling you, these are wonderful. Absolutely love them. I shared with you guys in the things that I do video that timers, routine, rhythm, like those things are huge for our ADHD kids, having something very simple but direct. So for us, we use the Google Assistant. I have a little Nest Mini speaker in our children's room, and then in the main area of the house, we have the Nest Hub Max or whatever, the little screen. I'll link all these things down below. I'll also link the video where I explain how we use our Google Assistant, how wonderful that has been. That is a lifesaver. So having that set up, we use the Family Bell system for our reminders. They know every day what's expected of them. It goes off, hey, you should be up by now. Hey, it's time to get your chores done. Hey, it's time to sit down for school or Bible or, you know, whatever it is. We have reminders in the evening for chores that need to be done. Having those simple, predictable, it is set at the same time on the days that I want, all of that. It's so simple to go off. We use that consistently for timers. We have it set like their co-op classes. Hey, class starts in 5 minutes, and then a 5-minute timer will automatically start. So then if they're struggling to keep that kind of track of time and, you know, keeping focused, they get the reminder that things are going to get ready to start, and then the timer starts. And so on the screen out here in our Nest Hub, you'll see the timer going to help keep them on track. It goes off, they know it's time. That is such a huge help. The other thing that we got, sometimes if they're working on, you know, our kids are really big into writing, so if they're spending some time writing, if they're getting some video game time, different things that they're doing, having the timer is very handy in many ways, but sometimes we want something that's a little bit softer. It's a little more of a nudge versus an alarm going off, okay? So in those instances where we say, okay, you can sit down and, you know, write for an hour, or hey, you can have 30 minutes of video game time. We have these fantastic little rechargeable light timers. You guys, a friend recommended them to me. They're so cool. You have to have these. Even if you don't have a child with ADHD, I would highly recommend these because they're just so cool. A few things about these. They came in a pack of 2, and they are rechargeable. So you have your spots here, you just plug them into like a phone charger to charge them. And then if you see on here, it says off, and then I don't think you guys can see it on here, but around the different sides, you have different numbers. So you have 60 minutes, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, or the top just says on. So depending on which way you have it sitting, it will do various different things. So if you have it where on is on top, it'll just stay on. So say the power goes out, or you need a night light, something soft but still gives off a good amount of light. You do have 2 different settings for how bright the light is. You just set it up and it will just come on. But say I want a 30-minute timer. I just set it with the 30 on top, and it will stay on for 30 minutes, and then it will just slowly fade off. So what's so great about this, if I say, okay, you can have 30 minutes of video game time, next to the TV, they just set the timer down with the 30 on top. I'll usually go ahead and set a 30-minute timer on my watch here, just so if I'm out doing something else and I'm like, oh, okay, the 30 minutes has been up, I can come peek in, see if they noticed. 30 minutes, whatever, it sits there, and then they'll just notice all of a sudden, oh, my light went off, time's up. A great, gentle timer has been very helpful in many different circumstances. They're getting some time on the computer to write. All right, you get 60 minutes. They set it up. I just have them set it right there next to the screen as they're working. And then if you glance down, you notice the light's off. That means your time is up. Again, love that I don't have to worry about batteries. I just plug it into a phone charger to charge this thing. If the power ever goes out, we've got a couple lights sitting around. Like I said, you get the 2 different levels of light, so depending on how bright you want it. We love these things. These things are so stinking cool. So timers are very, very helpful, whether we're using our Google timers that are like actual, chimes going off, or using just the little lights here to be more of a soft reminder. Very, very helpful. So the next thing here is basically just a massive necessity for the majority of our ADHD children, and that would be fidget things. Slime is huge. I have more containers of slime in my house than you guys even want to know. In our laundry room, we have a shelf where I just got Dollar Tree baskets and containers of slime, supplies to make slime add-ins. It's so much slime stuff, but it lives in a basket on a shelf. Those are the slime things. We have children who they cannot focus if they don't have some physical way to be moving. And so having slime that they can play with and just work with every day while we're doing Bible study, during homeschool, during Bible, during everything, having slime, kinetic sand, Play-Doh, any of those types of things that they can keep their hands on and keep their hands moving and active and engaging with is huge. They need that physical outlet so they can focus, so they can do school, so we can do Bible study, so we can do these different things. So slime is a big one for us. There is always some slime something going on in our house. It's been such a great tool though. So I just personally, we have, like I said, we have various containers, we have baskets that they live in. Slime is only allowed at the table. Somebody has gotten slime in hair and blankets and clothes and furniture more times than I can count. The cool thing about that is if you get an alcohol-based hand sanitizer, it will get slime out of everything. You pour that because it's got the alcohol, but yet it's because it's more of a thicker gel, it will kind of stay put. That or just pure rubbing alcohol, you soak it into hair, fabric, whatever, you're gonna get the slime out. So I definitely keep that on hand for slime emergencies, but we keep slime at the table whenever we're sitting down to do school or do class or do anything like that. Everybody grabs their slime and they come sit down, they have that to work with. Now if you want something else or you want something for in times and places where you can't be utilizing slime, we also have things that are great like this Fidget Ball. This thing is fantastic. You can get all kinds of fidget type supplies. We get them cheap off Amazon periodically throughout the year. If it's been a while, I'll pick some up. Even places like Dollar Tree have some great fidget type, sensory type things. It's time Lily needs a new one because we're missing some of the pieces. She has fidgeted all the pieces off of this, but that's okay, it's what it's for. You've got different little knobs, you've got switches you can move, you've got buttons you can click, you've got like a joystick mover thing, you've got textile things, buttons you can push, even just a soft spot that they can rub. Anything that they can help that's going to kind of give them some of those textile, sensory fulfillment that they can have on hand. This Fidget Ball is fantastic. We love this thing because it's got so many different uses. Like I said, she's ended up kind of plucking off some of the pieces and different things, but that's okay. That's what we buy it for. You want to play with it? Okay. That's what we buy it for, so they can use it. They're inexpensive, like I said, on Amazon. I'll link some down below, and such a help. So those are the main things that our kids use daily in different ways. The last thing I'm going to share with you guys, this is the coolest thing ever. Technically, all of the girls and myself have one of these, but we bought it specifically for our ADHD kids. And that would be these hammock chairs. Now, I had looked at things like this before online, different places, and they were always just so expensive. I was like, okay, that's more of like a luxury thing. We're not gonna be able to get that. Then a friend said, hey, look at these that I found on Walmart, and they were like 30 bucks. And I was like, that's far more doable than all of the other ones that I had seen before. We love these hammock chairs. These hammock chairs have a capacity of like 300, 350 pounds. It's something like that. It's crazy. So you don't have to worry about, weight limit. That's great. They fold up. They do come with a carrying pack. So if you wanted to take them places, we take ours. Like if we're going down, well, you had friends over a while back and we went down to the river to let the kids play. So me and her, we each took one of the chairs and took them. So we had them to sit in. You look so pretty. So cute. These chairs are fantastic. Like I said, huge weight limit, so everybody can sit in them. You don't have to worry, mom, dad, we don't have to worry about sitting in them. We can sit in them as well. Our kids love them. What's so great about this is when they're needing to read or sometimes even just watching TV or something, being able to sit in that kind of hammock cocooned feeling and to be able to rock and to move and to have that. Sometimes our kids will sit down in them and like pull it all up and totally cocoon themselves in, but you just see like a foot or a hand sticking out so they can rock and move. It has been so great, especially if they're just getting overwhelmed, it's way too much, and they need to sit somewhere and be able to move. It's a great way to be able to do that. They fold up nice and compact. All of our girls in their closet, they just kind of line up on the side. They pull them out every night to sit down in when we have our evening time, and we love watching old shows together. Right now we're watching through Family Affair and the Yogi Bear show. So we're watching old Yogi Bears and Family Affair. The kids sit in those. They love them. Our kids sleep in them sometimes, especially her. She sleeps in her chair all the time. She loves it. And then I love having one. I'll take it outside.
I put a blanket in my walking chair.
You do put a blanket in it and you sleep right in there, huh?
Yeah.
I'll take mine outside and just have that so I can kind of be rocking in my chair, hanging out wherever the kids are. I cannot lay in it. So a kid could lay in it. Adults, you're not going to be able to lay in it. But they are very comfy. They were, like I said, they were really inexpensive for chairs like that. They're nice and compact. You can fit them anywhere. You can take them places. The fabric is very thin. It's definitely more of like an outdoor camping type fabric. So as far as being able to clean it and things like that, super duper easy. So love, 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 love these hammock chairs. Especially they're such a great tool for our ADHD kids when they're needing some movement, they're having some sensory issues, they kind of need that space that they can go sit in, be rocking in. Quite often you'll find a kid in there with these on and a book. That's a big one that we see quite often in our household. So these are some of the top things that we have purchased specifically for our ADHD children. These are the things that we use every day. Every day you're gonna see these products in use in our home in some mixture. These things have been a fantastic help. I will link them all down below. Again, just praying that this can be a help for someone else, because I know as parents, especially when our children have things and we want to help them and sometimes we don't understand or we're trying to find the right stuff, and it can be very, very difficult and very, very frustrating to try to put it all together as we're just trying to give our children the best, create a nice home environment that really just gives them a safe space to thrive in. So I hope these things can be helpful for you. Of course, make sure you watch the other video of things that I do that are really helpful for our ADHD kiddos, and we will see you guys all next time. Bye all.
Bye.